Hi. I find it amazing that after all of this time in the world of IT, things that are considered mundane and routine, like data protection, are still huge issues. Better yet, they're not organically improving. Instead, they keep getting worse over time. Data growth, longer retention periods, and infrastructure shifts continue to hamper IT's ability to meet all protection, retention, and compliance requirements. Organic data is growing at about 25% a year, and machine-generated data is growing at up to 10 times faster than that in some cases. So it's hard enough to try and keep up with protection demands just based on growth, but that's not all that enters into the equation. Add to this the fact that recovery requirements just aren't what they used to be. Users have wildly various needs for recovery based on who they are, what function they're involved in, where they are physically, and what they need. The one-size-recovery-fits-all model has gone right out the window. Worse yet, users want more direct control. Application and data owners are demanding more control over how their data is protected and recovered. And that's often at odds with IT's processes and best practices. The bring-your-own-device era has not only changed what users are going to generate and display data on, it has forced changes in how that data is going to be protected and managed. To address all of these data protection challenges requires a holistic approach, an approach that incorporates all appropriate technologies and functions, including business continuity, replication, backup, and archiving. Important note here, it's not all about backup anymore. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone say, for example, yeah, I archive, and then point to a backup tape sitting on a shelf. You really need to think about backup and archive as completely different but complementary functions. And both are key pillars of a data protection strategy. Here's maybe an easier way to think about them. Backup is all about recovery. Archive is all about discovery. You back up because you may need to recover some or all of your data. You want it protected in the event that you require such a recovery. You need to get it back, for whatever reason. Archive is all about discovery. You don't know why you may need to find something or discover something within a data set, but when that request lands on your desk, you have to know where to point that request to. Your archive has to adhere to your compliance, be it regulatory or governance-based, and your retention policies. So in other words, you need to make sure that your archive contains the data that you mandate for as long as you mandate it. And then you have to have the ability to perform discovery acts against that archive for whatever reason, whenever it's needed. One backup without archive is incomplete. It's as simple as that. You need both, but be careful. If data and application owners attack these different data protection requirements individually, organizations end up with what? Silos of technology resulting in added cost and complexity, wicked reduced productivity, and increased risk of data loss, which is exactly the opposite of what we're trying to get done within IT. The future of data protection, including backup, archive, and other forms of protection such as replication, will not be one-size-fits-all singular approaches. They will have to be best of breed. But having said that, we really do want to think holistically about how the overall data protection architecture looks. Look for solutions that help you gain leverage by consolidating functions where you can, whether that's from a management perspective or from an infrastructure one. It is much easier to manage multiple functions if you can do so under a common management framework, or if you can leverage a common infrastructure platform. For example, if you had smart storage that housed both your backup data and your archive data, so it was a single physical repository, and even better, what if that was smart storage so that it deduplicated everything, so even though we looked like we had completely discrete data sets, we were really keeping just a single common data view, if you will, or multiple data views of a single common data set. Try not to shove a one-size-fits-all solution down your user's throat and expect them to be happy about it. Instead, you've got to give them the tools they need while you maintain oversight and control. And that's much easier said than done, I realize, but at the end of the day, that's exactly what we need to strive for.